It's Sean Doherty with the Giving Excellence Show. I'm the business strategist of the Giving Excellence movement. We have Michael Dunn Jr. He is the creative director of our company.
Man,
go ahead.
We're so grateful for you all to be tuning in today and to hear some of this great, valuable content that we have.
That's what we're all about here,
man. We got to give excellence, be the best that we can be every single
Turning
moment.
creative thoughts into action is what we're all about. We bring in guests all across the DFW Metroplex. And even more if we feel the need, you know what I'm saying? So
anyone that feels like they have a voice,
right,
and they want to outreach people to help other people. That's what we represent here at Giving Excellence. It's just about being a platform for people to be able to showcase their talents, their influence, and let's make a positive influence impact within our communities and our people. So we're so grateful for the audience to be here today.
Man, I love the energy level of this kid right here. So we are at Spayse Studios here in Dallas, Texas. Israel is the owner of the studio, and if you are interested in having something similar to this or just come check out the studio, please go ahead and let us know. Reach out. We got Shannon Hook behind the video. We are so grateful for everyone that's involved in this production, turning our creative thoughts into reality. So this is
just a thought.
Yep.
And
so
that's how it happens. So your thoughts become your reality, especially when you're intentional with them.
Yeah.
So
stay
intentional with your thoughts, please.
We love you. If you're tuning in, we're live on Spayse Studios Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. So check them out. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and air the Spayse Studios commercial just to kind of show what they have to offer. But we got Felicia Benton in the house today, Mike. She is a powerful woman, man. We are so grateful to have her in our presence today. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mother. She's a public figure. Singer, actress, you name it, she can do it all, and we got her time today. So we are so blessed to be able to pick her brain and to share with some of you what it takes to be a leader, and a good one at that.
Yeah,
so
because that's important.
So Shannon, go ahead and air that commercial of Spayse.
Ready?
Welcome back. Look at that powerful video. Spayse has a lot to offer here. We're in just one of the building or one of the rooms in the building. How about that?
Yeah.
They got a lot of things going on, a lot of movies that are filmed here. But look who we have here. We got Felicia Benton in the house.
Miss Benton, she showed up.
She's ready to dance. So we are so grateful to have you here.
Great energy.
Taking your time away from your family.
Yes,
the work you're doing.
We're grateful to be here,
right. Man. And we're all matching. This is awesome.
I
wasn't planned at all.
Was it planned?
We just did it.
Mike doesn't.
We just did it.
Be truthful with him.
Happened.
Did we plan it?
Kinda, not really.
in our spirits.
In our spirits.
They
you see?
collided together, and we made a decision spiritually. And
Yeah.
here we are.
That's how the universe works.
Amen.
Oh, see, I
So
told
silly.
you she's
Oh, man.
multifaceted.
Just do it
so
on accident. It's just not even on purpose.
That's part of her
Perfect.
normal talking
It's strange.
right here.
My
so.
deep apologies.
No, it's all good. So let's talk a little bit about you, because
Okay, if we
you
have
know
to.
we're here for you.
Yeah.
We exist today here for you.
That's
so
frightening.
we're Mike and I I didn't even talk about this before we started the show today, but Mike and I met you at the DFW Lions Den conference.
DVU.
Oh, that's
which
right.
was different business owners would pitch ideas, kind of like a Shark Tank atmosphere
That's
for
right.
faith-based entrepreneurs and investors.
That's right.
So we were just God-loving people and just happened to run into her, and she had a team together that was basically doing the A&R or P&R.
PR.
PR. Jeez, who
P
am I?
and R. It's
P and
okay.
R.
Public and relations. It's all good.
Public and relations.
It-
So
it works.
she had a team, and she was super busy, but took the time to introduce us to people, and we gravitated. There was an event we were going to be a part of there soon after, but we connected, and soon after found out that she was a part of the Initiative Network as well.
Just too
so
many
now,
places.
now we're active in that,
Yeah.
and we're just happy to have you here. Mike and I could learn a lot from you, so we're just gonna pick your
Sure.
brain.
Scary.
But if you could just start off introducing yourself and talk about kind of where you grew up, maybe
Okay.
where your passions lied
Okay.
then, and maybe kind of how you got to where you're at today.
Okay. How long do I have? I'll try to do it in 90 seconds or
90
less.
seconds,
Let's do it.
Okay. So my name is Felicia Benton, born and raised in DeSoto, Texas.
Whoa.
I always tell people that we grew up in DeSoto when the white people were there, and I hope that they're not overly offended by that, but it's true.
Yeah.
We grew up in DeSoto. We moved to DeSoto in 84. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but grew up
2.
there. Yes, something. Grew up there, and I've got a few sisters that are all older than me. Graduated DeSoto High School. Dad's a pastor. My dad's been in
Wow.
ministry. We just celebrated 26 years
Awesome.
of him being in ministry.
I'm listening.
It's a long time. We had one of those moments this weekend when we were like, oh my God, we've been in this for multiple decades, and that's weird. So, and we're still in it, thank the Lord.
With a lot of energy too.
Well, a lot is questionable and debatable, but we're still we're persevering through.
Love
you know,
it.
when you know it's for you, then you just
Do you feel like you have a lot to live up to when you? Because that's always like
yeah.
kind of confusing as a pastor's son or daughter. Is I feel like I would be walking on eggshells maybe a little bit throughout my childhood.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I'd be God fearing more than I already am.
Yeah, I was daddy fearing. Yeah,
Dad-
I was more daddy fearing than I was God fearing because dad and God were kind of the same being for me for a long time.
He walked that line
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
with
it was
discernment.
just true. Yeah. And so I don't think I necessarily walked on eggshells, but it was not. It was an interesting childhood for sure.
But it's helped shape you. To who
It
you
has. I tell people all the time that my parents they taught me the straight up Bible, and my dad is one of the best teachers I've ever known in my entire life.
That's awesome.
But they taught me all of the foundations and all the fundamentals, and
Right.
that stuff comes and smacks you right in the forehead as you grow older. And you're like, what the heck was I learning when I was a kid? And eventually it comes full circle. And so I'm living in some of that full circle time right now.
Wow.
That's been complicated and murky and gray, but
Right.
good. Yeah. So graduated from DeSoto. went
DeSoto
on
High.
DeSoto High School.
Man, they got some talented people coming out
They
of there.
do.
If you don't know,
Me.
now you know.
me.
Yes.
No, just kidding. I was a regular kid. Graduated DeSoto, went to TCU, got a couple degrees from there. Go
Horn.
Frogs.
Frogs.
Yeah.
I'm from Nebraska, so I mean,
What do you know about those Horned Frogs, Sean?
not much.
Okay.
I mean, I know they got a football team. I don't know if they have any other sports, but I know their education system is good. That's what I care about with you
Okay.
because you're well educated.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they say.
How about
so
that?
they
Nice
say. Yeah. So went there, helped start my family's school. We have a small private Christian school in DeSoto.
Oh,
You say it like
Wow.
without any, like that ain't no thing. That's
I
like a
mean,
huge thing.
It's a thing, and it's still going.
Yeah.
So that's something. You know, I was one of I was the director of operations for 5.5 years, so figured a lot of that stuff out. And then I've been a full-time entrepreneur for myself for the past 6 years in January.
That's possible.
She
6
just
years
said it.
of just working on your own.
Just
like,
Wow.
hustling like a hustler and figuring
we-
it out.
she's got a packed schedule and she's here at Spayse Studio,
So
so
it means
we
a lot.
better make sure that
Yeah.
we're valuable here in
You
Miami.
are valuable. I like people, and I like people who are committed to their vision. And
Oh,
so
wow.
here I am.
I'm so gracious for that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
There you
So,
go.
well, thankful, gracious, whatever it may
It's
be.
okay.
But
You said it, and now it's out there. You got to stick with it.
dang it, I need to learn. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about, your role, because you weren't always the entrepreneur route. I know that you were in theater and dance, maybe
Yeah.
singing a little bit. I've seen some articles about you, and well, your website is what, Felicia.com?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Felicia.com.
self-explanatory. And she has some press releases that she's involved in. She's been involved in some shows and acts. And I'm actually connected with the Dallas Theater as well. I don't know if you've done things at the Wiley Theater.
Yeah, of course.
But talk a little bit about how that has kind of shaped you into the leader you are today. Because being on that platform, we're fairly new to being in front of the camera, but that's in front of a live audience.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's real
different.
raw, more real and vulnerable. So I almost think that has to have helped you in life get through certain obstacles as well.
Yeah, I actually have recently started to embrace the creative part of me. I always have. I was just at Booker T. Washington a couple of days ago doing their career day.
Love
Okay.
it.
And got a chance to present to some of their theater kids. But I talked to them about really embracing the creativity that you have, but knowing that creativity doesn't have to just be on the stage. You can infuse this gift of creativity that you have into other kind of unconventional spaces, which is where I have kind of started to take even my approach in business. I've just started to embrace the fact that I am a theater kid at heart, and I appreciate narrative and drama and storyline, and infusing that into all of these other kind of traditional spaces that I'm in has proved to be advantageous. But I still perform like a few times a year as well still. Also.
Dang.
She's like
Additional.
super creative, and that spirit is wonderful. I feel the energy. I'm just really grateful to be beside Miss Felicia right now.
Oh, wow. It makes me want to turn a cartwheel. That makes me
But
feel
that's the
really
thing, though,
great.
that's
Thanks.
always confusing to me is creative individuals. We were talking about last episode. Creative individuals have to almost find their niche a little bit. They have to search for it a little
That's
bit
right.
more, because the way our system as far as education is set up is not catered towards that type of thinker almost.
Sure.
So you have to be active and search for where your niche is, and to apply it to turn it into a real sustainable business and company. It's very hard because everyone seems to have some sort of creative spirit, but how do you turn that into something sustainable and to really portray that and bring value to the community in that creative spirit? So what you've done as a actress, could you say Broadway?
I could if I have gone to Broadway, but I
Okay.
haven't. I have great friends who
Theater,
are on Broadway,
yeah.
but I do professional musical theater. That's
See?
kind of how
Professional
I like
musical
Same
theater.
for us.
But that's why I love Booker T. Washington School here in Dallas, is because kids get to audition. I think they have to try out
They
to
do,
be
yeah.
in that school, but they embody and embrace that creative thought. And when I met Mike first, I always tell him I'm not creative at all. Like, I'm straight black and white. I like structure.
Obviously,
I like
thusly the apparel.
this, well, now he knows.
Yeah.
So he
You know.
kind of mirrored that today. But yeah, I like structure, but what Mike got out of me is I'm creative in my own way,
That's
but
right.
I don't know it, but it is creativity, and I've just used it to apply it to make things happen as opposed to just being a amazing thought and an idea.
Right.
Is that we turned it into something, a product of value that we can bring back to the community. Because in all reality, we're here to educate the viewers, to educate the youth, to realize it's attainable, it's touchable, to be able to pursue your dreams. And it sounds cliche, it sounds amazing, but these are people that we have on our show that have turned their dreams into reality. And you said there's adversity and setbacks, of course, through that, but it's really fulfilling to be able to live for yourself and do the things that you really want to do day in and day out. You're working for yourself. You're building your own legacy, your own future. And not only that, you have an amazing daughter that gets to see mom in that act. So you're
She
a
doesn't care right now.
She's a momtrepreneur.
Mompreneur. Yeah.
Okay.
Mompreneur.
Where
So
does that come from? What is that? I've never heard of that. Mompreneur.
Yeah,
So,
a mompreneur is somebody who is working for themselves, but they're
Okay.
also a mom.
Okay.
So I'm full-time self-employed. I like to give that disclaimer often. That is, what I do is not something that I do on the side. What I do creates the income for our household every single month, and it has for the last 6 years.
Wow.
So it takes an extra level of dedication and strategy and hustle
Right.
and pursuit and really creativity. I like to tell people that everybody is
Right.
creative. I believe if we were made in
true.
the image of the invisible God, who is creative just
Yeah.
by the nature of the fact that he spoke, and here we are in a very intentional, creation.
Right.
If he is, then so are we. Now, not everybody is comfortable with accessing their creativity, and creativity for everyone looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I would encourage you, if you are an entrepreneur or if you are looking to go into an entrepreneurial space, you have to figure out really what your differentiators are and what makes you
Right.
stand out amongst the other people who are doing what it is that you want to do. That requires creativity, which might not necessarily be drawing or singing or acting or whatever, but it does require some unconventional thinking, some unconventional positioning, and intentionally doing the things that you have to do to stand out amongst the crowd.
Maybe against status quo. Because I can be creative
Totally.
in business if I
Right.
wanted to.
Totally.
Now, since we're on the entrepreneur subject, now, like, at what point in your life did you know that this is the route that you wanted to take for you? Like, was it something that was instilled in you through your parents because you've seen them, or
Yeah.
was it just something that you knew in your nature as a child
Yeah.
growing up that, hey, I'm very creative. How can I make this something that can be fulfilling in my life?
Yeah, I would say it was intentionally unintentional. I couldn't find a job for 4 months.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
And so,
So you know-
I only could take the tools that I had in my hand in order to do something. And at that time, that was graphic design, and I still
Okay.
do a lot of graphic design. I don't tout that.
Because everyone asks
Because
you to
then
do
everybody
it.
would want you to be.
Yeah,
and
because
I'm
I would be asking you.
Yeah, I'm much more interested in figuring out why the heck you want to do why do you want to do that event?
That's what branding's about.
It's what it's supposed to be about, but there is a perception amongst most people who say they want somebody to brand them, that a brand is their logo and the flyer and the
it
things
takes
and
time.
the pieces. It's so
it's
time
a story
intensive.
Process.
which is why you're good at it.
They don't want to do that stuff, Sean.
No, it takes it could take years if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
yeah.
been in business for a year and a half now, and we constantly learn about what our brand
course.
represents.
That's
and we
right.
constantly
That's
So
right.
for us to just kind of say, hey, can you make this logo? You're right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we thought.
That's
Am I
right.
wrong?
That's
like
right.
I thought our
Yeah.
logo was who we were. That's our
Right.
brand.
Yeah, it's all
But
the
that's a
pieces.
testament to young aspiring entrepreneurs
right.
as well. And entrepreneurship is such a hot subject because it's so glorified now.
Right.
Everyone
Right.
wants to be that.
Boss.
But tell them there's some adversity when it comes to that. It's like,
obviously,
because you never know in business, if you're with a corporation and working full time with someone else, there's checks and balances and accounting and different legal things that they have that
That's
you
right.
know they have to get paid and do this or that. Sometimes you do business with people that aren't as honorable, and
Yeah.
sometimes you just
That's right.
put in your heart and effort into something, but sometimes you get burned. But that's part of the process. You learn
You
from
gotta
that,
get burned.
and
Yeah.
you have to go through those things. And it's a huge risk. Part of the definition of an entrepreneur is someone that is willing to take the risk that others won't.
Right.
And I'm happy to do that here, especially with Mike, is like, you have to be willing. What are you doing behind closed doors? What's your character like? Are you
That's
holding your
right.
integrity?
That's right.
Because if you're not working behind closed doors, you're not bringing in the income. And it's not only about income, it's about the lifestyle. If you want to build
That's right.
something amazing and build a legacy,
Have that freedom.
you have to put in the work. Like, I'm 27 years old,
right.
and if I'm not busting my butt every single minute, not during my job hours, then I'm doing myself a disjustice. And when I'm looking back at age 35, 40, instead of me, living the lifestyle that I need and my family deserves, I have to backtrack. Like,
Yeah.
put in the work now when you have energy
Right.
and you have time.
Yeah.
Make time, because life is about enjoying it, but we can enjoy the journey along with it, right?
Yeah, and I would also say I would also say back to your question about, do you think this is something that you wanted to do? Entrepreneurship was not, when I went into entrepreneurship 6 years ago, it was not as trendy of a buzzword as it is right now.
Right, it's a risky thing.
Yeah, but I would also say that my dad and my parents are the mindset of my lineage is entrepreneurial.
Okay.
Back to my grandfather, who's still alive. He's 102 years old.
Wow.
But he started.
We love you.
Yeah, he started a business in Strong, Arkansas in whatever the 40s, 50s, a lumber cutting business, and supported the community with this timber business that he started and generated a ton of money. He don't have none of it no more because he gave it all away. But I would say that spirit is something that's in my family. I think that being an effective entrepreneur requires so much mindset work. If you do not have an idea of both legacy and vision, if you do not have that, if you are not truly driven by what your why is on the day-to-day, then you will get to 35 and wonder why you aren't where you think that you're supposed to be, and you'll quit. But if you have an understanding of some long-term generational vision and legacy, you will invest your time in your right now. And so that is daily mindset work. That is daily training. That's a daily reminder that I am going to do it. I'm going to get up. I'm going to figure it out. Maybe nobody's going to tell me how this works. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to do it.
You almost have to embrace it at this point.
You just have to know that it's going to be inevitable and just choose. You just
but through Christ, you're building that armor, though, too.
Yeah.
That's a nice fallback to have, you know? Not even a fallback.
It's not even that. I just said this a couple of weeks ago. I had this epiphany about that. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. People like to write that on jerseys.
It's very trendy. Cliche,
and they,
too.
you know, make tattoos. But what I said just a few weeks ago, I said, you know, if you truly believe that you can do all things through Christ, then certainly you can endure these things, these situations that he creates for you.
Right.
So in my case, my little girl, I'm a self-employed single mother.
Okay.
But my child was born with Down syndrome. Everybody knows that, and no fingers on her right hand. So that was our setup. And so if I can do all things through Christ, meaning I can do this thing that I say I want to do, then I can also do this situation that he has created just for me to be able to learn all the character traits required to endure in order to get to where it is he's shown me that I'm supposed to go.
Wow.
So if I can do anything through Christ, including my aspiration, then I can endure the thing that he has given to me, the situation that he's given to me to get what I need to do to get. And also to be able to bear the image of the person of Christ. Those situations are created for us to be able to learn the person of Christ. So he creates those for us to be able to learn him.
And thank you. That was powerful.
That was.
I love
very
it. I could listen to that forever.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's why we brought her on. That's why we did it. And but going back to that too is we're never replaced with anything that we aren't supposed to be able to push through. The easy thing to do isn't always the thing for us to do. Sometimes we need to go through those down times, those dry seasons to come back with life. I went through a personal setback for a year straight, and without the graciousness of people to pour into me and love on me and pray for me during that dry season, I came back with vengeance. I came back with life, energy, open-mindedness, and that's what's been able to push this Giving Excellence movement forward. Is not only Mike is a huge part, but I was open to receive his knowledge, open to receive his vision at that dry season right after it came back up. And now it's just the momentum is powerful because I was able to maybe just rest my mind, maybe just rest my soul and just receive things with such grace and energy and love. And so, man, that's awesome. I hate to cut this short, but we're going to go ahead and air the Giving Excellence Movement commercial. So thank you so much. Shannon, go ahead and roll that. After it comes back. Movement is a culture of individuals that are transforming the entertainment industry into an educational platform, Through our variety of services, we bring years of study, personal development, mentorship, and life experiences that not only educate the youth, but also aspiring entrepreneurs to walk as a role model and create positive change within their communities. We see there's a major need in the entertainment industry for powerful young role models that the youth can latch onto and bring about lasting change in not only their lives, but the lives of thousands of others that may need a helpful hand to get out of their current circumstances. Our services include live speaking at schools, businesses, and events, TV show and event host, uplifting music production, brand ambassador work such as commercial advertising, acting, and much more. If you would like Giving Excellence to come provide your school, business, show, or event a boost of positive, sustainable personal development, please inbox us at givingexmovement@gmail.com and visit us at our website at www.givingexmovement.com. We are honored to bring the movement to you and look forward to continuing to transform the entertainment industry into one that can showcase young, professional role models that our next generation can listen to for guidance and support. From Giving Excellence Movement, we love you and know you can and will give excellence in every area of your lives. And we're back. Back again with Felicia Benton. We're going to close out today's episode on the Giving Excellence show with Felicia explaining different ways to connect with her, different social media outlets, her website, what services she offers, as well as some projects she's got in the works, because I think she's got some sort of radio thing going on as well, too.
We got some cool events happening next year, too, that you guys might be interested in. So I have a complicated life, and so it doesn't look streamlined on social media. I apologize about that, but I don't. It's just, who I am. So I have a branding and brand management company called the Zoe Communications Agency. What are my words right now?
What do you do?
Yeah, so our tagline is practical creative business communications from Z to A. So we start at the end point and we work our way backwards. We do a lot of communication strategy. We work primarily with city government, ISDs, chambers of commerce, but we also do some small businesses and personal brands as well. So that website is teamzoecom.com, TEAM, zoecom.com, or zoesayshello.com.
I saw you doing like some sign language right there.
I can't help it also. So.
I love it. But what are some sort of clientele? Like what if I'm a business owner, what would I be needing to come to you? Like, is it small business, large business? What are some client examples that you've done?
Right. So like I said before, we work primarily with chambers of commerce, cities, economic development, ISDs, but we also do some small business stuff. And we're building products right now for 2018 for small businesses. I'd kind of veered away from small businesses and personal brands for a while, but we're going to come back to it and build some very strategic, specific products for how to get in the mindset of branding yourself.
Much needed.
Working backwards to figure out what your positioning statements are, your brand differentiators. So that hard kind of gross work that a lot of branding companies don't do for small businesses. It's what we'll be doing in 2018. So you can just sign up for our newsletter is the easiest way to stay connected there.
Awesome. And your website is?
zoesayshello.com is the easiest one.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then you got, I wanted to drop this in real quick because I thought that was a cool project. She's got Alicia magazine and clothing.
Yeah. So Alicia,
that's rolling out next year.
We've got some, we were around for a couple of years. We dropped off the map for a little bit, but it's a magazine for the every woman.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and Alicia means devoted to God.
I love every woman.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're all beautiful in their own way.
They are. And we really celebrate the diversity of all kinds of women. So there's that. But the Lion's Den, we're also working on the Lion's Den again this year.
2018.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked out DFW Lion's Den, if you think you have a sweet idea, try and pitch to these investors because it's real.
Yeah, we were just in a meeting a couple of days ago, found out that the investors that were there contributed $3 million. They invested $3 million in companies.
They're not playing around. This is real.
It's very real.
In Dallas.
Yeah. And we're doing something called the Millennial Experience this year, which is a track developed specifically for millennials who think that they want to get in the mindset of entrepreneurship. So just for you guys, that's March 22nd at DBU. Go to the thelionsdendfw.com.
thelionsdendfw.com at Dallas Baptist University.
That's
Mike
right.
and I were there last year. It was
Wonderful
the most
experience.
beautiful campuses
right.
and
Yeah.
environments we could have ever been in.
right,
So
yeah.
thank you so much. I'm Sean Doherty, the business strategist of the Giving Excellence Movement,
Michael Dunn Jr.
the creative director. We got Felicia Benton in the house. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you, Spayse Studios. Thank you, Shannon, for controlling the switchboard back there.
He's
And we're
awesome.
going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.